Yeah, it was another eventful weekend then. Just to run you through some of the key stories from the weekend. Manchester City dropped points for the second successive game. It means now what? Second in the table with Liverpool top now. Arsenal, they left it very, very late to finally see off Leicester at the Emirates. Everton picked up their first 3 points of this season as they came from behind to beat winless Palace. Ten Hag then and Manchester United suffered yet another embarrassment, this time a 3-0 hammering at Old Trafford, handed out by Spurs. And despite that, the manager, Ten Hag, told the media afterwards that he still has the support from the boardroom.
No, I'm not thinking about this. I think we all made, in togetherness, this decision to stay together as an ownership, as a leadership group in the summer. And also we made the decision also from a clear review and what we have to improve as an organization and how we want to construct the squad. And they're all decision making in togetherness, but we knew that it would take some time because how the window went, some players late in, like now Ugarte, we have to integrate him now. Also, we had to make some improvement in organization. We still have to do with some injuries, also from impact players, and I think we will get better there. And yeah, we need some time, and we all there on one page, on one boat together. The ownership, the leadership group, the staff, and the players group as well. So no, I don't have that concern.
Okay. Gab.
Wow.
From that performance that you saw yesterday, he says he's fine. There's no issue. The board fully supporting of him as things stand. But was that a performance that you would think the board should be questioning, Ten Hag?
The board should be definitely thinking of a change. I mean, I done a press conference for the young boys game with Unai Emery. I would have loved to have done one last night and asked him questions about all your players are fit now. What are you talking about? Injuries. You got Luke Shaw unavailable. That was a strong Manchester United team. Even before the game started, Ugarte, Mainu, Fernandes. That's his best midfield he can play. Rashford, Garnacho, Xerxes. You know, you spent £660 million and you still, after the game, saying, they've got my back. And they could lose, Natalie, 5-0, 3 weeks in a row. So, it's a process. The players will come in and it's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. We go and start from the bottom. Like, he's just got an excuse for every single bad result. You've lost twice at home in 6 games, 3-0. To Liverpool, to Spurs. You're on -3 goal difference already. The gap between the top 4 is already, big enough. I just think that for the sake of their season, Manchester United should make a change. It didn't work. You tried to bring in a new manager. You looked at every manager possible in the summer, then said, all right, we'll keep you. It's not going to work. The players aren't even playing for him, Natalie.
Okay, let's say they make a change. Who's going to come in?
So I would give it to Ruud van Nistelrooy. The reason why is that when you watch Manchester United and even after the games and during games, you just see Manchester United players feeding off Van Nistelrooy a bit more than they are of Ten Hag. I remember seeing a clip after the game and Ten Hag walked straight in and you got Van Nistelrooy high-fiving the players, hugging the players. I just think that he was a manager as well 2 years ago at PSV. He's not going to afford to himself, I want to be an assistant. Maybe that's the best offer he's had. It might be the same situation as Carrick and Solskjaer where it doesn't work. Well, that's what I was going to say. You're just going to not have a Solskjaer Mark II situation. But if it's that bad, then you have to make a change and you look and say, what, Van Nistelrooy has it for a little bit. If he does well, he keeps it. If he doesn't, we've got time to look for a replacement. Because yesterday wasn't a team that was playing for their manager. There wasn't a team that was playing for their manager. They were dreadful, every player.
I think the key there is there was no team.
No team, no.
No one playing for anyone.
No one playing for anybody. And you look at the 2 goals they've conceded recently, the one against FC 20, similar to this goal from the first one. How can you run straight through? If you ever tried that back when I was playing, someone's going to absolutely nail you. How dare you try and run through? It's a bit cheeky. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit cheeky from a defender. How dare you?
To be fair, Mickey van der Ven is just thinking, thank you very much. I'm just going to keep on going because you're right. Not one player goes into challenge.
And he's rapid. Of course, he's Van der Ven. I've said he's one of the best defenders in the league for me. But the Manchester United players are treading water. Mazraoui, who's had a great season so far. De Ligt, the way he ran through the centre. It's like, come on, guys. Wake up. Defenders now aren't like they used to be. They can run out with the ball. You know, Van der Vin's got that in his locker. But it was a team for me that didn't put in the hard yards, didn't make a tackle, didn't follow runners. I was watching the first half and Garnacho just watching Udogie run past him. I'm like, mate, you've got, as a winger, you follow the left back. That's your man. It was like, pass him on, no problem. And that's a young lad who's been amazing since he broke into the Manchester United team. But he was not very good yesterday. Didn't look interested, not himself. There's a problem there.
There is a problem there, and as always, the final word is the first place to get your calls in following the weekend's games on a Sunday, and that's what Darren, the Manchester United fan, did yesterday. He's ready for a change, like we discussed in the dugout already.
Shocking, mate. I was at the game at 20 the other night as well. It's just absolutely terrible. Ten Hag out, get Ollie back in. It's just an absolute joke, mate. It's shocking. I'm soaking wet on the way home again on the 56, fuming. Weekend ruin again.
And he wouldn't be the only Manchester United fan feeling like that this morning, certainly as well. He's talked about, Ten Hag, about some of the players that they've brought in during his time are young players. They're players for the future, which is, again, what he's trying to stress about. Look, it's not going to work just yet. This is about the future for Manchester United. But it can't be about the future. So surely these players that they've brought in have to be players that are ready for the now.
Yes, and these players aren't 17, 18.
No.
You're not a young lad at 21 anymore. I remember Martin O'Neill saying that to me after 2 seasons in the Premier League. He was like, you're not a young lad anymore. You can't get away with like being in and out of games and, you're not a young lad at 21, 22. So stop with the excuses. He finds an excuse in every single post-match interview. When the players start to get experience, he'll say, it's too many games, or injuries might start happening, you'll blame them. You can't blame anything now. That was a perfect Manchester United team. You had Højlund on the bench. You had Anthony on the bench. You had Diallo on the bench. All that was missing was Luke Shaw. He's not getting anything out of them players, and that comes from the manager. Yes, the players need a grilling as well because they were dreadful. Dallo, I don't know what he was doing. He wasn't tracking back. He was losing the ball. But you're Manchester United manager. Surely the new ownership are looking at it and saying, like, guys, we made the wrong decision. We need to change something soon because 2 games next to Porto and Aston Villa away. All the best.
You don't really want them to sack Erik Ten Hag, though, do you?
No, I don't.
No, you're quite enjoying this,
yes,
I think.
if I'm being neutral, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I want him to have a new deal. Sign him up, like Rio said about Solskjaer. Give him the paper, let him sign what he wants, because as a rival fan of Manchester United, maybe trying to finish in the top 4, I want him to stay, because whilst he's at Manchester United will not finish in the top 4, top 5.
Well, they're 12th right now. That tells you the picture of...
Luckily.
Well, you could maybe argue that. They've dropped to 12th as a result of that goal difference now. They are, 8 points off top spot as things stand. It has been a very disappointing start.
That was crazy though, Natalie. It was like watching a game. If Son was playing, them 2 one-on-ones for Werner. I mean, Werner would have scored one-on-one if there was no goalkeeper in the goal because he's that bad 1v1. Like, Son would have scored them 2. Johnson hits the post. Romero bicycle kick. There were so many chances. It could have been 7 or 8.
Do you know what? When this result obviously came through and we were all seeing the full-time whistle, my heart sank because I thought, I know I'm working tomorrow and I'm now going to have to talk about Manchester United, which is the story. I get it. Yeah. It is the story. And if anyone's listening right now thinking, why are we just talking about Manchester United? They are the story right now because we were expecting improvements. Erik Ten Hag promised improvements after last season. We've not seen that at all. They are, as you say, one of the biggest clubs in the world. They have fallen so far off their perch, it's unbelievable. And that's why we're talking about them. But my heart did sink because I thought, we want to be talking about Tottenham's performance. We want to be talking about Liverpool going top of the league, Cole Palmer and Chelsea, etc. But Manchester United will be dominating today because they are a big story, because they are just nowhere near it what they should be
Brentford
at right
scoring
now.
early again, that's a big story.
But we can't win. There's no point scoring a goal in the first minute.
No,
if you
I
can't
checked the
win.
scores. I was like, it's 1-0. I'm like, took Mbeumo out of my fantasy football
Did
team.
you?
Yeah.
Can't take him out.
Had to take him out. It's too expensive.
And he's too expensive.
Yeah.
Is he? I wouldn't know. I don't fancy football
he's
for a
expensive
while.
for me. But scoring so early, that's what they do, don't they, Brentford? Start quick, but then they drop off.
That is the issue, unfortunately. They have scored in 3 Premier League history they made, scoring 3 times in the first minute in those 3 successive games, but they haven't won any of them.
Imagine your team talk, your West Ham, before you go out.
Just don't give
Just start. They like to start quick. You start quick. Don't concede any fouls. Don't concede any chances. 1 minute, 1-0. Cheers.
Well, Gabby, 30 seconds into the game, I said, I can't believe we haven't scored. bang, in it pops. So,
Madness.
there we go. Look, there's loads for us to review as well from the weekend's football. But Manchester United fans, we are taking your calls this morning. Was yesterday the tipping point for you? Is it time up for Erik Ten Hag? Or are there still some of you that thinks he needs more time and that we maybe aren't giving him that sort of that time that he should be given? Maybe there's a reason we're missing as to why he should still be in charge. Let us know this morning. 03717 223344. Why not give us a call?
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.